Welcome back to Those Are My Thoughts podcast, where we share our thoughts on popular fantasy reads. I'm Jillian.
And I'm Sara. We are back.
Hi, everybody.
Hey, it's been a second.
It's been so long since we've recorded an actual episode. I'm so sorry. I feel like this is a me problem, but either way, I'm happy to be here.
It was nice to set up my podcast equipment today and find my lights and microphone. It's been a second.
Yes, same. So if you're on YouTube right now, you're looking at my background probably thinking, I've never seen this background on Jillian's background before. And that's because I moved houses since the last time we've recorded a podcast. And I don't have a podcast space set up in this house yet. So you're getting a nice white wall and probably some not so ideal lighting. But if you can see my face, we're trying our best this week and we're going to figure it out. It shall get better in the future.
Do you love your new house?
I do. Oh my gosh. So I have 3 little boys and we just needed more space. And this house has way more space for us. It's been such a blessing to have like playroom and like just so much like guest room and all of the things that we have in this house that we didn't have in our old house. So it feels like a big upgrade for us in our season of life. And I love that. So it's been great. We're hosting everyone for Christmas. I'm so excited to have my house feel like full. It doesn't feel like ready yet, but there's a lot of cool upgrades we want to do to this house and fun things like that my husband and I love to dream about and Pinterest about and all the things. But yeah, I'm excited for what this house is going to be. It feels like a version of our forever home. Maybe like not forever home, but at least the home my kids are going to grow up in for a long time. So that feels really special to like be in a house that you know you're going to like make a lot of memories in, I guess.
Yeah. How long did your youngest baby have in the old house? Was it like a week, 2 weeks?
Oh, my youngest baby?
Yeah.
We moved when he was 2 months.
Oh, it was a little bit longer.
Yeah, he was like 8 weeks. Yeah, thank God. 1 week, 2 weeks. We came home from the hospital. So I had him and we were signing paperwork going under contract for this house while I was in the hospital. And then we got home from the hospital on Sunday and people were like, our house went on the market on like Monday or Tuesday and we had viewings that same week and we were under contract by the following Sunday. So it was crazy, but thank goodness for my mother, because my mother was in town and she was like cleaning my house and making sure everything was perfect for all the showings. We had to like leave the house anytime there was a showing. And thankfully there was only a couple of showings. We did like 3 total before we were under contract on the house. So it was like nothing crazy, but it was all like done and out of the way for when we had, because I was trying to breastfeed and heal and all the things. And like, it was just like, yeah, it was kind of a mess, but yeah, it was not that bad to be honest, but I had a lot of help. So it was good.
Nice. You were very calm during that time. I remember saying multiple times, like, is this real? Like, are you this chill and peaceful? And you're like, no, I really feel this way. It's like,
I felt really a lot of peace about the move. Honestly, the 2 hardest days were the days that we were actually moving, because the thing I really don't like about moving is that when you move, the big things go and then you have all these teeny tiny things left over and you have to like find a box for it. Nothing matches each other. You get to the new house and you're like, where did I put that thing that I packed last minute?
Like your salt and pepper.
Yes. Oh my gosh. So right after I moved, like, well, the day we moved, we slept in the house for the first time. I woke up in the morning and Sara was in my living room. What the heck?
I went and surprised Jillian to just help unpack her new house and be helpful in any way.
We needed her. Honestly, it was perfect. Her and my mom were a powerhouse team together. They came and they got my house like unpacked. It was so lovely. It was the best time. We got to go see a local bookstore. together and we went thrifting a little bit, some fun things. Yeah. It was great. It was very Sara coded.
Yeah, it was.
No, I loved that though. I needed that. If you were here, I feel like I'd do more of that.
Yeah. I would force you to do it with me regardless.
And I'd love to do it. I'm a wannabe thrifter. I just don't get out there that much. I don't think about it as much as you do.
My thrifting photo I sent you, I haven't put this on the internet yet, but this week, I always, if I have 5 minutes, why not just go check the books in my local thrift store?
Oh my gosh.
And so I was on my way to my friend's house. I was just telling you that she had like a girls' holiday night to watch rom-coms. And so I'm on my way and there's a Goodwill that I haven't been to in forever. And so I was like, oh, let me just pop in quickly. Guess what I find? 1, Assassin's Blade. 2, Serpents and the Wings of Night. And then books 1 through 5 of From Blood and Ash with duplicates of book 1 and 2. Every book was $1.30.
The jackpot.
Floored. I felt like I was on a high for the next 2 hours. Like
I feel like I wonder if like some of that stuff is going to be easier to find at thrift stores because there was like that big boom in reading. You know what I mean? Like some people buy them, read them, and then donate them. Mm-hmm. So I wonder if that'll be like more of a, not like, but like easier to find now that like they're so popular. You know what I mean? Which is
I definitely think
some people can find them.
Definitely think so. But that's our little update. We've been, my family, my husband and I have been on multiple trips since we have recorded last. And so our schedules have been here and there and everywhere. And so it has not just been you, Jillian. You've had a lot of life changes. But if you had been ready, I don't know that I would have been able to record. So it's been perfect.
It was hard to match our schedules, I think, this round, which it just was the way it was. And then I have a baby and all the things. And some of that's been hard to, navigate with like bedtimes and when do we record. And if I don't have somebody that can watch him during a nap time or whatever, it's kind of hard to figure it out because he hasn't been napping really consistently. So it's not like, oh, I know he'll go down for 2 hours, we can record. So I haven't had some consistency with that either, but we have not stopped reading. We've been reading, so we have lots to talk about.
Lots.
And today, specifically, we are talking about Brimstone by Callie Hart, the sequel to Quicksilver. And like, it was marked on our calendars for forever. Like since the second we read Quicksilver, we're going to drop everything and read this. So we read Brimstone and I'm so excited to talk about it. I have a lot of thoughts.
And I feel like I say this very often, but Jillian and I have not really talked to each other about this book. So it's happening here first. We just simply haven't had time to swap notes. So what better way? I mean, the reason we started this podcast was to give ourselves time to talk about the book that we just finished.
Yeah, so come book club with us. This is like kind of like a true book club because we haven't been voice noting about it. It's kind of like we both read the book and we're showing up today. So I'm excited to like book club with you about this.
Okay, let's get into Brimstone. So we read Quicksilver January or February of 2025. And then I think it was February. Maybe
You're
like
the one with the schedule. I don't know.
I know. And I look at what we've read all the time. I think it was beginning of February. So nearly a year later, we read book number 2. Thank God that we had recorded episodes on it. So we used that kind of as our own little recap, which was so helpful for me.
Me too. Number 1, if you have not read Quicksilver, leave, go read Quicksilver, then come back, then read Brimstone, and then come back and read this. This is going to be an episode filled with spoilers for all of Quicksilver and all of Brimstone. I don't know why you would read Brimstone without Quicksilver. It wouldn't make sense anyway. Please go read both. If you have not listened to our episodes on Quicksilver, go listen to those, hear our thoughts about Quicksilver, and then come back here and listen to Brimstone. We'd love to hear your thoughts about Brimstone as well. So that's just your content warning before we go forward. Okay, let's start with something basically. Like, how did you feel vibe-wise about this book? Like, what was
perfect?
Like, before we get into the nitty-gritty of like plot points and whatever, tell me you left this book feeling what?
I left this book feeling anticipation for the next book. That was my main thing, is I was like, okay, good story, but I need the next book. It wasn't a book that left me on a crazy cliffhanger. It wasn't a book that blew my mind and made me sit down and think about reality for a while. It was a book that like gave me some nice stories on the way to where we're going.
Mm-hmm.
I was trying to ask myself, like, why did I feel so extremely emotional about book 1 and kind of mediocre about book 2? And I think, is that how you felt as well?
No, I was going to say, I can answer that.
Oh, okay. Well, here's my thought, and you tell me if you agree. I think it was because book 1, all of the first time smut, like the yearning and the attraction, it's all happening for the first time. It's just like passion after passion. Book 2, in a sense, we stay together. Yes, she like locationally takes them apart, but then we're given the dream walking. So it's like the characters are essentially together the whole time. So that kind of took a back seat, which to me is okay. I was still loving the story, but it does change how ridiculously obsessed I get.
I missed the tension in this book for sure. From what I'm gathering on social media, that was like the vibe. It was like, oh, like you took it all out. Not to say that I didn't like their scenes together and their development as a couple, because I do think there was development as a couple in this book, and probably like a natural progression of getting to know each other, learning more about each other, falling deeper in love with each other. Like, it was sweet. Like, there was a lot of moments I loved. I'm just saying, like, the point where you're like ripping through pages to get to the, you know, like, because you're feeling the tension and you're like staring at the screen, that just didn't happen. So that was a big part I missed in this book. Overall, like, I will say, like, when you got into like a rhythm of this book, plot carried through. Like, I didn't have a hard time reading it. I didn't have a hard time keeping up with it. The plot carried easily, and I really enjoyed this book overall. I really like Callie's writing style. So like, it's easy to read. I really like the way that she writes characters, banter, their personalities. Like, every character has a really good personality, like an actual personality. And I love that about her writing. So there's so much that I enjoyed about this book, but it definitely wasn't a 5-star read for me. But like, I think that's okay. Like, if you've read, especially a book in a series that's going to be 3 or more, not every single one of those books has to be a 5-star read for the series to be amazing. And I think that's okay. Like, and that felt like this book. It was easy to read. It was good. I like the plot points. Was I like staying up at night to read it because I just couldn't wait to see what the next page was? No. But like, I thoroughly enjoyed this book, and I'm excited for the next book. So
yeah, same. Rod, my husband, he's starting to, I think, catch on to my mannerisms when I am or am not liking a book. And so there was a moment during our time reading Brimstone, maybe I was halfway, where he looked at me and he was like, "You're not enjoying this book." I was like, whoa, like, I felt defensive. I was like, whoa, what do you mean? I love this book. He's like, I don't know. Like, you're not crawling into bed 3 hours before bedtime and like, sorry, can't do anything else. And I was like, look, and I was explaining to him, like, it's a great book. Love it. I've got other stuff to do. We are like, it was a busy time of life while reading this book, but there was something about it that I was not like frothing at the mouth. Must get back to book as soon as possible.
Can you remind me before we continue, is this going to be a trilogy?
Trilogy, and she has said, like, with the potential of 2 extra books, maybe they're standalones. I don't know.
Okay.
Because I think the internet is saying that they're going to be like a carry-on book, and I don't know who else.
I will legitimately riot if we don't get a carry-on book. The way that I love this man.
I know. And so much more in this book for me. Like, his experience only went up.
completely love this man. I'm actually so sad about how much we didn't get of him at the end. I was like, oh, at some point we left him and I was like, I miss him. Like in the last part of the book. But no, his character development was amazing. I truly needed the portion of Carrion and Kingfisher in Zalaran, that like little trek they had together to be longer. Like I could have done it for half the book.
Yes.
Which is funny. That.
Normally when we're coming up on a portion where I'm like, all right, author's getting ready to separate the main two characters. Normally I'm dreading it and I like pout read through the next chapters just waiting for them to get back together. No, I loved it.
Because I'm sorry, the tension in this book was between Kingfisher and Carrion, and not in a sexual way, but it just was, that was the banter.
If Carrion was here, he'd be like, was it? Or should it be? I don't know. Was it sexual?
Well, that's true. Yeah, that's true. He probably would be like, no, it was actually like that.
I loved it. Yeah, I just loved seeing Kingfisher soften up to him. She gave us such practical steps of watching him like take down his prejudice towards this man who can never be serious. And at some point, it was actually funny because you get kind of like split POVs in this book between Saris and Kingfisher. And at one point, Kingfisher in his inner dialogue was talking about Carrion. And I had to go back to the beginning of the chapter and be like, whose point of view is this? Because it was just too nice of an inner dialogue for me to believe that it was Kingfisher. And it was Kingfisher. And I was like, oh, look at him. He loves him.
He loves him.
He loves him. They're brothers.
No. And I think like just like learning his background, learning Carrion's insecurities, learning what he's been through, learning the people that loved him, that have sacrificed for him, that passed away, and watching him like grieve over people like that, like the real things that have come into play in this book that were new for Carrion was like, sorry, I love that like the opening scene was Kingfisher chasing down Onyx and like with Carrion in the back, and Carrion's like falling off the horse or whatever. It was so funny. It was so good.
That is the prologue.
Oh yeah. Okay.
So I actually am so glad you brought that up because I was shocked when I finished the prologue. I think I set down my book and I was just thinking that was so excellent.
That was great.
Like, I had tears at one point. Why? Why did I have tears? I don't know. Maybe because when Onyx got delivered, or I don't know. But there was just, it took me on so many emotions in 5 to 10 pages?
Yeah.
The book has just begun. I'm not even to chapter 1. That set the expectation for the book extremely high.
Especially that like initial like banter between Kingfisher and Carrion, like him being so annoyed with Carrion. He's like, this guy's here. Carrion's like shooting stuff off at him while they're in this super high intense situation or whatever. Carrion's making mistakes. Kingfisher's like, dang it. Like, it was so good. I love that whole prologue was amazing. I was gonna say, was that the first thing we read? Because it is. It is. Yeah. And it was the prologue. Excellent. Okay, for me to have just said I really enjoyed this book, I did. I have bones to pick with quite a few plot points.
That's great, because I don't think I thought too deeply about many of them. Okay. So let's see what I think. Bring it up, Jillian.
List my hot takes off, and then we can go from there, because okay, first, she's the queen of the vampires. And then one day, the vampires all disappear in one day. No more problem for vampires. We can just get rid of that plot point.
They're all like dead.
What? Hated that. Sorry. That was the way we did that? No thanks. Second, I'm sorry, not a big fan of the Onyx resurrection. Maybe I'll feel differently later in the next book.
I think it is a big setup in plot. It's like a little teaser for her power. Look what she can do. She just practiced. So now I think it's going to be extremely crucial for whatever our end game is.
I mean, like, sue me. I like animals, but like the like the Hazarax, is that how we're saying his name? was like, if you use this power, like you won't have this power anymore. And she's like, yeah, no, that's good. I'm going to pour it all into the fox. And I'm like,
I did have pause when she's like, all right, going to use up this thing that this eternal creature just gave me. Like, to me, I was like, isn't that a really special thing that you're never going to get
save
back?
that for sometimes you actually need it. And I'm not trying to say that you don't actually need it for the fox, but you don't actually need it for the fox.
Do you think it's foreshadow for like somebody special is going to die and now she doesn't have the power to resurrect them because she used it on a little animal? Maybe. Because I was thinking it would be foreshadow in a positive way of like, all right, we're going to do this again in a bigger way.
Yeah. I don't know. I didn't like that. And I'll say like, I'll give like a third or fourth take, and then we can go and talk about them in depth. But they brought Hayden in and gave him no personality still and really no place in the book. Okay, what the heck? And then lastly, like you're saying earlier, they ended the book not on a cliffhanger, but still in the middle of a story. So it felt like abrupt, but not like a cliffhanger. Not like,
yeah,
I don't know what that was about. That felt like an odd place to me to end. I was like, oh, I guess that's the end of the book.
It did feel like a strange ending. Like when it was over, I did not believe the book was over. But I guess to me, I didn't think much about it because book 1 to book 2, no time has passed. So I just imagine book 2 to 3, no time will pass, and we'll pick up in this kingdom of hell or whatever it is.
For sure.
Yeah. Hayden, don't love him. Like, stupid little brother is what he's giving.
Stupid.
Was really upset
stupid little brother.
Of like his initial response to his sister being ungrateful. And I struggle with what I just said, though, because Callie Hart does a good job of writing things more realistic than some fantasy books. So I do feel like that's a little bit of a realistic take. Like there's so many emotions that you're overcome with, and one of them could be blame, and one of them could be guilt, and one of them could be... So, yeah. But didn't love it. Didn't love that.
Okay. Did you have opinions about the vampire situation?
Yes. So, yeah, I didn't get upset about it, but it did remind me that in our Quicksilver episodes, at the end of maybe part 2, when we're talking about the end of the book, I'm saying to you, like, I'm confused. She's becoming queen of the vampires, like this world that they don't like, and also like the people that cause the most problems, which is kind of what they're trying to solve. And I was saying to you, like, how do you rule this kingdom? Like, what is she to do? Just redeem them all and then she's done. So it reminded me of that thought. It's got to be more intentional than that, instead of like, okay, this problem's done with, let's move on to the next problem. But
I hope so, I guess. I'm like, was the point of that? There was obviously some plot points that came out of it. And then we have obviously major people we met at this place that are very important to the plot now going forward. Is it Foley or Folly?
I was saying Folly. You know what? She started the book with a pronunciation guide. Folly is not on the list.
Oh, of course he's not.
So we're going to say Folly.
Okay. I loved the introduction of him as a character.
Me too.
Loved him.
He was giving Sirius Black vibes from Harry Potter. Like, everyone's going to tell you that he's bad, but this is going to be like your best friend and mentor situation.
Yeah. Loved him. Loved the Adina situation, Kingfisher's mom.
I have more questions there, and surely she's not done.
No.
I like the journal. I like the journal being a part of the book. I enjoy, yeah. You need to get on YouTube and see Jillian's faces.
Sorry. I love it. I'm so excited.
That was beautiful. That was a beautiful writing technique to get me connected. The moment when she's like, do not share this book with Kingfisher, and Saris is like, this moral dilemma of he's my person. We have no secrets. So here it goes. If this kills me or kills him or damns our world, here we go. And how sweet. It's like a letter to her son.
The thing is, if I read that, I'd be like, okay, I'm not sharing it. I would not have shared it.
That's a good question. What would you do?
Well, she was like, in the next page, she was like, what was gonna happen if I didn't? I thought I was. It was so fun.
I think I would have done what Saris did. There's certain things that just like keep me up at night, and one of them would be like withholding important information from my spouse.
Yeah.
I don't think I could.
Yeah, especially if it's about his mom and their connection and all the things,
Or if to be able to sleep, I would be calling you. I would okay, if I can't tell him, then I have to find a person.
Well, she was telling somebody, wasn't she? Who did she tell? She told somebody about it. She did tell somebody.
Yes, Valid Dagonite. What's his name?
Taladeus.
Taladeus. She told Tal, I think.
Valadagus Nights.
It always helps me remember.
That's so funny. What are your thoughts on him?
Okay, well, I always really enjoyed him, but I had a major pause when he wanted to break the bond. Don't remember what it's called. Blood bond, maybe?
Yes.
When he wanted to do that, I was like, something's happening. What's happening? Actually, that whole throne room scene, loved reading that. And this is why this book can't go down in ratings for me, because there's actually quite a few moments like this that emotionally got me up and excited and interested. And this throne scene was one of them. You could tell that Tal was probably going to cross them, but we weren't sure how. Kingfisher's sitting there. And you think okay, well, he can protect her because they're speaking mind to mind. And then all of a sudden, one of the old witchy creatures, they realize, oh, she can read our thoughts and she actually knows what we're saying mind to mind. So that's not safe anymore.
Yeah.
It was just so tense. Yeah. Then he kills one of them. And, but yeah, that moment made me pause about him. And I don't know if I've recovered. I think I still have a question mark over him of what's his intention? What does he want?
Right. I was convinced around that throne scene time that he was potentially not a good guy. I was thinking to myself, he has just fooled a lot of people and played his cards right and just done all of these things where he's kind of stayed alive and also stayed in high power situations and made himself into this whatever. And I didn't like how he wanted to break the bond and then also didn't tell Saris what that would involve. Why did she have to go into it in the dark and then throw up blood in front of everyone? It just was all this whole thing. All of that part. But it was interesting when we got towards the end and we were at the mountain cliffside village or whatever, that was when they went through the portal and they ended up in that village or whatever, and his ex-girlfriend or whatever was dead, and he was kind of they had this moment together.
Yeah.
Are you following?
Yeah, I'm remembering now. It's Lorith's town, where all his people are, or somebody's people. That's the same place where everyone addresses Carrion and is you're the king.
I don't think it's Lorith's people because the whole place was the goat creatures.
Oh.
Listen, it's late. Maybe.
Yeah.
But whenever they were there and him and Saris were having a conversation, he was very vulnerable and more
oh, he's hanging on the cliff I want to jump.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I was thinking, oh, this is not how I saw him for most of this book. This is very different, his mindset and what he's been going through the last 1,000 years or whatever it is that he's been alive. This has been very different than I had painted it in my head, because he was holding it together a certain way where he was, and actually wanted to sacrifice himself then. He didn't want to live after that situation. When all the other vampires died, he wanted to go with them. and they saved him. And it's kind of like that thing of like, he's got to find like a new will to live now for other reasons. And I think he's starting to come around to this new side of like new friends and new things and new purpose that he's got a like new life to build for himself. So his character development was very interesting to me because the first half versus second half, I had different views on him, especially when he was just like sleeping with all the girls in the castle and whatever he was doing. Yeah, really interesting.
Yeah, you're making me remember more about him. And at the end of book 1, he is really struggling with like the main villain is dead, which means that he's free now to choose his own will, because with that guy alive, he couldn't die. And so as soon as it happens, and as soon as he knows that Saris is okay, he's kind of like, well, I would like to move on. And so then we see him stick around for the first half of the book, and it seems like his new mission is, well, let me just free these 2 people of me, and then I can move on, and I'll wipe out a bunch of them with me. It's kind of like I've done my deed, and I get to peace out.
Yeah.
And you're right. He's obviously, they didn't let him sacrifice himself. So now you just reminded me that I have interest there of like, he's still around. So
yeah.
What is he going to serve to our story? I really do enjoy him as a character.
I do too.
My trust went on and off with him.
Yeah, I do too.
Okay. The fire sprites. What's his name? What's his name? Archer. I loved this. First of all, I love these kind of mythical creatures.
Something that, like, about a fire sprite.
No.
If you know, you know. If you're listening to this and you've read another book with a fire sprite, you know what we're talking about.
I love that it was like a symbol of they have this cure for the rot that's in our land, but it like showed us their moral compass. Mm-hmm. Everyone thinks that these are the big bads of the world and they'll kill anybody, but no, they're going to do whatever they can to save the fire sprites, even let their world die. And then we have Archer nearly die because one of the zombies gets him.
I know.
I loved this whole scene.
And I loved that, like, again, this is the Carrion like happens to be there, and him and Saris just like sacrifice themselves with burns to save him and all of the things. Archer is just the sweetest character. Oh my gosh. Like, I hope that was it for all the trauma with the fire sprites with him, because I just need him to stick around forever. I love him so much. The second
he's recovered, he's like in Sarah's room, like, how can I help you? How can I serve you? And she's like, what are you doing? Working. And then he's offended, like, why can't I work anymore?
she's like, you need to be resting. He was like, fire sprites don't need to rest. Like, I'm up to temp. We're good. I'm like, oh my god.
I loved that.
He was so sweet. Okay. Where did we leave off with Everlane?
Is she still asleep?
I think so. I'm shocked she stayed asleep this entire book. I think especially some of these really drawn out plot points are interesting to me because it's only going to be 3 books, I guess, like that we're not kind of moving some of those characters along faster. But I'm just surprised she stayed asleep the entire book. She did not wake up. And we didn't get almost any of Ren in this book. Like, almost
made me sad.
Any.
Multiple times reading, I was like, I miss Renfist.
I miss him. Which, like, so much set up at the beginning or in the first book for, like, loving this character. And he was just gone in book 2.
Makes me remember that, and it kind of gives me a question for you, that extra Kingfisher POV chapters that were released when Quicksilver was out, and then Callie Hart released like these, I don't know, multiple chapters. Those were so significant to this story. Essentially, everything that happens in those POV chapters is the groundwork of plot for Brimstone.
Yeah.
I was shocked by how consistently we're talking about the Ajun Gate and the dragons. And now we're at the end of the book with the dragon coming back up. And Renfist's sister who died, she gets brought up multiple times. Like, just everything. I was shocked at how intertwined it was.
Yeah. I never finished them.
That was my question. Okay.
But I did read a chunk of them. So a lot of it I remembered, but also a lot of it they kind of spell out for you in this book. I will say, like, they kind of go like, this happened to Ren's sister out there. Here's why we're talking about it. Like, they did a lot of that, like, callback where it's like, hey, this happened at this thing and now it's back here. I think if you read them, you would have more color to that sentence, which would be nice, but it's kind of like, if you don't have the color, it's fine. It's still the plot point that you need to know. So it's not like I felt like I was missing out or like, wait, what are we talking about? Like, part of it was like, oh, I'm picking up what we're putting down. I think I would have enjoyed, was Folly in that at all? Because that whole portion of like, because he was at the Ajun Gate and he got bitten by a feeder there, and then that's why
I don't remember, but it's very likely.
Anyway, that's what, like, so like some of that stuff was like a lot of the people they were talking about, a lot of the plot points they were talking about. You're right, that was all based on that story that they talk about in those POV chapters. So I definitely think like I might go back and read them now, even like, and I think I would get a lot out of them at this point. Even
I think so.
So that's definitely something I would like to do.
I found them on audio. Mm-hmm. So I had read like 70% and then just lost track of time. And I found them on audio, and it's like a 1 or 2 hour listen.
Yeah.
It's nice and easy.
Yep.
End of book. Finding out Kingfisher's name.
Oh, that's the last thing I wanted to say. The moment you find out his real name, empowering, cool, I was like, yes, like that was awesome. What I hated was the mid-chapter switch to the new name, including a nickname out of nowhere, and we're not going back. I was like, whoa, girl, what? And she was like, I looked at him and he was never Kingfisher again. I was like, what? Like, what do you actually mean? That's crazy. I was like, okay, I'm having whiplash. Like, I can't. Yeah, I'm sorry. Like, I need a minute. Can we introduce him as a few times, have a conversation where he says he'd like to be called by that? Like, why was it like all of a sudden she was like, and I looked at him and that was it. And I was like, no.
No, you're wrong. That's not how we
crazy.
Feel.
I don't want to call him Kai. That's nuts.
Yeah.
I don't feel.
I just kind of I ignored it every time.
So like that's what I'm saying. Like, and this isn't the first time in a series we've had a name change, and I struggled with it in the other series I've read as well. I don't love. It's kind of like, especially when it feels like overnight, and I don't know. There's not like a good time to switch it over. But it's not like one group is calling him this and another group is still calling him Kingfisher, and it kind of like blends together until you kind of get used to it. There's none of that. It is overnight. He's Kaidan. What? I don't know. What did you think about it?
Yeah, no. Okay, well, I was, for anyone who's on our social media, I had posted about this moment because we were traveling back in a minivan with our dear friends and their 2 children. And we're on the trip back. So everyone's exhausted. Everyone's like kind of delirious and asleep. And I'm reading. And I get to the chapter where they're battling Belicon.
Yeah. Yes. Belicon.
And she calls him by his name. And the moment that she like says, da-da-da-da, your name, I resurrect you, come back to life or something, audibly in the car, I'm like, silently. And I loved it. I loved the fight scene. I loved how she uses the name. So cool.
Oh, I loved the thing afterwards too, where he was like, gotcha. And she was like, no, got you, actually. Like, already took care of that. I was like, yes.
Same. But yeah, I agree. The very next page, I was like, nope, we're not doing that. Sorry. Nah, no thanks. And so thankfully they're both K names. And so I would just kind of see the K and move on. I genuinely was like, no. So even it took you just reminding me his name because I didn't register it at all.
Well, thank you. And also, not like I like Kingfisher. I liked, I did like Fisher. Like, I was really like into that, like, whatever. He's Fisher. Like, why are we calling him Kai? Like, I just can't.
I just need more time to process.
I suppose. But in a trilogy, it feels crazy to change the main character's name.
Yeah, I agree. But this leads me to something that I remembered recently that I need to settle with you. I don't know when it was when we were reading Quicksilver, but I do know that it's recorded in our voice memo episode. Towards the end of listening to our voice memo recap, I say something about Kingfisher's dad. I say a prediction of like, is this person Kingfisher's dad? Like,
I said, no,
you were like,
dead.
Sarah, we're insane. You went on and on about how we know who Kingfisher's dad is. We were already told. That's the craziest thing I've ever heard. And I get to the end of the book of Brimstone, and I'm like, we're meeting Kingfisher's dad. So I would just like to take credit that I predicted this all along.
Okay.
But even though I never saw it coming.
Something I learned about this book is that we knew nothing about Kingfisher. I swear to you, every turn, it was like, that's not actually like, I was like kind of blindsided by Kingfisher, and I was like, has he been lying to us, or was I made to believe and he just didn't tell us the truth because he couldn't tell us the truth, or has his name unlocked a bunch of other stuff, like. But like learning the whole thing about him being shoved into the gate and how he got the Quicksilver in his eyes and stuff like that, and then all the stuff like his dad's in hell, like I'm just like,
and that's where his magic comes from.
Yes. Oh my gosh.
She's like, oh yeah, that's why nobody else has his magic, because it's from hell.
Yeah. No, I definitely thought Kingfisher's dad was dead.
Well, I know because you told us. There just had to be something in my soul that knew.
Am I not?
What?
Because we didn't learn like how.
Do you think we were told?
Yes. He went to Zilvarin and they like killed him there. I vividly remember this story. He got locked on the other side of the gate, and he must have gone through.
I think it was like maybe it was a stepdad situation, because I feel like the story that we're told about his parents, we obviously know his mom, is that his parents love him and they were great parents, and he got separated and removed and they're dead. It must be a stepdad situation, but we might be speaking
the
craziness.
Stepdad is Belicon. Belicon married his mom. Yeah.
This brings many questions.
Thank you. Okay, I'm not making it up. Like I was like that with you for a reason. Like I thought I knew the story.
But my question in Quicksilver was Belicon was the.
Someone listening to this podcast knows the answer, and they're smarter than us, and they're screaming it in their car right now as they're listening to us be idiots.
Please message us so I don't stay up at night.
Yes. I need to know, was I right or was I wrong? And maybe it was like we were all deceived, but it didn't seem like it because Kingfisher seems to have known he was there the whole time. So maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm wrong.
Definitely Kingfisher's aware of who they are to him.
I think I need to do some research. This is crazy. I would like to talk about your thoughts on the smut in this book.
Yes, I wanted your thoughts as well. Okay. Here's my thing. Book 1 was intense. And you and I had said to each other, like, I don't say intense to say that I didn't enjoy it. Book 1 was incredible. But the sex scenes were a little darker and a little kinkier than I am used to and maybe enjoy reading. And that was a note in book 1 of like, wow, this was so great. However, I think I found my line of what I enjoy. Book 2, it could be a couple things. Maybe I've been reading this genre for longer now and I've just become desensitized. Ding, ding, ding. Another thing is like the smut was different in this book. I didn't feel like it was these weird.
No, it also felt more loving because they're in love.
Yes.
I think that was the difference in their smut too. It was very like it was very lovey, like, which I
love reading about that.
Great.
It's the love I know.
Sure.
Not these crazy one. Yeah. Anyways, I won't go farther there. But
okay.
I did have somebody message me, us, I guess, on social media.
Okay, you guys, she's putting us in quotations because she knows I don't run. If you message us on social media 9.9 times out of 10, it will be Sarah messaging you back.
It's me talking to you.
Never me, because the thing I find hard about that is that, like, it was confusing if both of us are messaging and it's like not, I don't know. So anyway,
they don't know.
I know. My goodness, it's almost always Sarah. Sorry.
But I had somebody message us. I responded. And she was just saying that she really does not like the smut that Callie Hart writes. It's too much for her. It's overwhelming. She doesn't enjoy it. And I said, that's exactly what I said. I was like, totally fair. I see where you're coming from. However, my experience is it's not taking away from my reading experience. I'm still enjoying myself. It's not like it's taking down rating for me.
It isn't taking down rating, but some of the smut in this book was just smut for smut's sake. Like, I actually, hot take, I wanted them to be apart during that portion where he was with Carrie and
exactly, me as well.
And when they did the dream walk and had sex, I was like,
I kind of skimmed through it.
I was like, why are we doing this? Like, you guys are just be apart for 5 seconds. Like, you're good. It
wasn't been that long. Yeah.
I guess I kind of felt like that. Like, they didn't build really any tension. There's no tension. They just like immediately relieved the tension. And I really wanted, I'm saying they, Callie Hart, but like, I just like wanted it to be a little bit more tension building. Some of that smut was like, why did we, like, they got in there and immediately were like, well, we're together. Let's do it.
Yeah.
It's like, chill.
Yeah.
Chill.
Yeah.
Anyway.
No, I completely agree. I agree, but also I could care less. I loved the story.
Do you think that the scorpion god that they met in Zilvarin is going to come back into play at some point?
You know, quick answer, no. However, I think he was kind of connected to like these scary oogie boogie characters like that you're told in your nightmares. So I think he was a precursor. We're going to find another one. And maybe it's the guy that's in hell. I don't know.
What did you think about the Hazarax?
I liked it.
I did too.
I didn't. Maybe she did it on purpose, but like wasn't creepy to me. Like, let's have more conversations.
He was giving surreal vibes.
Yes, exactly. I'm like, this is a character we're gonna appreciate later.
Also, the way he was like so annoyed with her. He's like, "You're not speaking." He's like, "I'm scary. Like, talk nicer to me."
And also, it's like manners. Like, you didn't ask me about my day and how are you? She's like, I don't have time for this shit.
He's like, okay, well, you should have some respect. I'm actually could ruin your world, but like it was kind of like she was like, "What?" It was so good. I liked their banter. Yeah, but I don't like how she like ruined his gift on Onyx. And I'm not saying Onyx isn't a worthy character, but okay. So because of that, I think I saw this somewhere online. Someone said, I really hope that Onyx is actually like the soul of someone really important, like Adina or something like that.
You're reminding me. Yeah.
And that like resurrecting Onyx is actually a bigger plot point for the future rather than it just being a fox that she resurrects. And if it's not, I'll be sad about the resurrection of Onyx. And if it is, fair enough. You got me, Callie. That's how I feel.
I think it's exactly what it is. I had the thought while I was reading the book. And it's when Kingfisher or somebody is explaining she's talking to the Hazarax, and she's like, is the soul still here? Is his soul still here? And they're kind of explaining like what souls do. And Kingfisher, I think, says like, we believe that some souls like choose you, some animals choose you and they decide to stay with you or blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
Through all of that, I was like, oh, okay, this is playing a bigger role. And I did have the thought that this is his mom, especially how like she decided, we know that she decided to stay in the in-between and wait to see all this through. I definitely think. I definitely think.
But then, the only thing about that is like, then I guess I was going to say then why the scary moment where she like comes through like Everlane and speaks to her like that. But I guess Onyx couldn't really do that maybe. And then it was kind of like Everlane is in some kind of in between, so it was easy to speak through her. I'm not sure. But yeah, that part of Onyx, I'm curious if that's going to be something in the future.
Same.
Lorith was a side character in this book. I thought maybe he would like pick up a little bit more, but he's not involved in a ton of plot points in this book. Like a lovable side character.
Yeah. I did enjoy that they like double down on you're my drinking buddy, and that's our relationship. That's what we do together.
Totally.
You know, I did miss from this book just the relationships of Renfis and Lorith. In book number 1, so many times we were like, oh, this friendship, oh, that is amazing. In this book, I think that we were focused a lot more on what's the doom that's coming, what's the rot that's coming.
And I think the relationship she focused on writing was Carrion. Like the new, like, which I'm fine with. Obviously, I love Carrion. I guess just was like, it was like the other characters almost suffered because Carrion got such a good like storyline. I don't know. It's not like it bugged me enough to care too much about it, but that was kind of my thoughts on that. Sarah, would you like to bring up the discrepancy that you caught during this book?
Let's see if I remember what you're talking about. Discrepancy.
I'll bring it up.
Yeah, tell me.
Okay, so at some point, Sarah texts me and she says, hey, I found a plot hole in this book. It's a very small one. It doesn't mean anything for the story. But essentially, we learned that Kingfisher and Carrion jumped over to Zilvarin and they are starting their little quest together. We said goodbye to them, all the things. And then in the next POV, we're in Sarah's POV and she's talking with Lorith, or she's talking with Tal or something like that. And she says to herself, Lorith is training with Carrion over in the training center. And that's the only little sentence or whatever that there is. But it's like something that is said that like Lorith and Carrion are training together, which couldn't have been true because Carrion was in Zilvarin with Kingfisher. So you caught that.
Yeah. When I tell you I spiraled, and I feel like this is because of reading Sarah J. Maas' universe. It just makes you second guess every detail that you're given. I read that and I was like, stop it. Do we have time travel? Is he not actually there? Is he is somebody pretending to be him? Is he, are we in the past right now? I was so confused.
Okay. Carrion's power, his plant power, we haven't talked about. And apparently somebody was saying like, what is the, like, it's almost like a theory of how he's going to heal things, like his place going forward because of his power. You don't know what I'm talking about?
No, I do. I just don't remember a lot about it.
Something about his power and the way that it like grows quickly and all the things like that, maybe having to do with like the brimstone or whatever. I don't know. Like eradicating things. I'm not sure. But I think Carrion's going to be a huge part of the solution to this problem. And he's obviously, he got the king bow down to you treatment in this book. He got the like future king talk all over the place. Like Carrion is the future leader. Oh my God, I cannot wait for a offshoot book of Carrion. I'm gonna lose it.
I hope so.
Sorry, there's not a clear
love interest.
No, it's surely not Danya. She was awful this book.
Yeah, but they were definitely having one night stands.
I thought she was going to get a redemption arc this book, and she did not.
She's the worst.
She sucks. Okay, that's all I think the thoughts I have for now on the book.
Okay, my very last touch on this, and then we'll wrap Brimstone, is I kept getting a little pissed that we knew that she had a Brimstone rune, and Brimstone is what we need to heal the land and save everybody and push back the rot. And we just continued to not develop that rune or whatever you need to do to make it stay and whatnot. So you brought up like maybe Carrion's power is going to be what we need. My whole thought always was, oh, she just needs the freaking rune, and then we have the weapon to eliminate this. So feels too obvious. Not sure why it hasn't happened. I'm questioning when that's gonna come. I don't know.
Well, they were kind of hinting to it when they were in hell, like 'cause she was around all that brimstone and it was like flaring up on her arm. So I think we're very close to that situation happening. Are you excited for the rest of this series?
I am. I think it's hard with how that book ended because it just feels like limbo. So when we ended Quicksilver, I was like, stop it. Get me back. I want to go back. And I did. I started doing it on audio immediately. I don't feel that way ending this book, but absolutely I'll be first in line to read book number 3 when it comes out.
I know.
Can't wait. I think I'm just a little bit more patient waiting for book number 3 now.
Sure. I don't know. Yeah. I think talking about it has made me more excited. I think talking about this book made me realize how much I did enjoy and like absorbed from this book, because I think going into this conversation, I was like, oh gosh, like what are we going to talk about? And then I was like, oh yeah, another thing. Like there's a lot of that that happened, which is good. Yeah. So I am excited for book 3. Well, obviously it'll be a while. So Callie, take your time on writing a good book. Like I'd want this to wrap up in a good way. So I wonder if we'll get a standalone before we get book 3.
Ooh, that would be interesting. Like
I
how
think that would be fun to get like, like, but we'll see. Yeah, those are my thoughts.
Those are my thoughts on Brimstone. And before we peace out, this is potentially the last episode that we're recording of 2025. And 2025 is the first year of our podcast. Our first 3 episodes aired on January 1st, 2025. So it's been a year. We have released 22 episodes to the public. This will be episode 23. We have recorded more than that, but not released them all. But it's been a wild ride.
Yeah,
do you still like podcasting?
I do. I think it's been an amazing year, not just for this podcast, but I think for you and me and reading in our social media and interacting with all the people that we've met, like new book friends and all the things. It's been so fun. And I think it feels like this much like the tip of the iceberg, I guess. It's just like, it feels like we've barely scratched the surface on the potential for this and everything that has to come. And I think I'm excited for whatever this turns into forever, because I don't think we'll ever stop reading books. And even just having this conversation, it's like, I'm always so excited to talk about this stuff. And I think it's been good to talk about it again after taking like a couple months off break from recording. Yeah. And I missed it. So I'm excited for next year. I'm excited for 2026.
Me too. We have some good books on our TBR, things that we want to cover and read. Some of them are The Ascended, and I can never remember.
Riftborn and Duskbound.
Oh my gosh, I always say it backwards. But what are the authors' names? Bree Lennox and something Greenwich. Parker Greenwich. I might have mixed up their names, but Greenwich and Lennox, I think, are the last names.
Greenwich and Lennox.
Amazing books and series that they're writing. We will be covering them. Yeah. Maybe we'll dabble into From Blood and Ash. Maybe we'll dabble into, I don't know, we had other big things on it. And the people on our Instagram keep giving us really excellent reads that the internet are loving.
So many. Red Rising, maybe? Red Rising?
Yes. We're going to have a good time in 2026.
Yeah, we are. I love you, Sarah.
I love you. It's been a good year together.
It is. Let's keep doing it.
Let's keep going. Okay, those are my thoughts for Brimstone.
Those are my thoughts for Those Are My Thoughts.
See ya.
Bye.
Thank you so much for listening. We also want to be your long-distance book bestie. You can find this podcast on all your favorite listening platforms. You can watch us on YouTube at Those Are My Thoughts Podcast. Follow us on Instagram, My Thoughts Pod, on TikTok, mythoughts.pod. We'd love to hear your thoughts and book recommendations. Email us at thosearemythoughtspod@gmail.com. Don't forget to rate, review, and subscribe wherever you listen. We love you. See you next time. Bye.